Hey everybody, happy Sunday. I hope that wherever you are and whatever you are doing, you are safe, you are well, and you are with people you care about who also care for you. It's been a week. I know I say this every week, but it has been quite the week this week. And you might notice some reduced output from the channel for the next couple of weeks. We're dealing with some offline stuff that is taking a lot of our processing cycles. So yeah, let's just leave it at that. Okay, so if you haven't watched the Chicken and Garden Update, go watch it, because there's been some cool things happening in the garden this week that I am very excited to tell you about, despite this week being really difficult. And if the camera angle looks a bit different today, it's because the camera is actually balancing on Vi's bolt, because my F-150 Lightning is now in the shop for the accident repair that initially we were told was not required, but turned out was needed. And so we're waiting on the repair. It was about $3,500 worth of damage done to the truck. So the insurance company has approved it, and my truck is being repaired right now. And it's a good reminder, actually, that even if your vehicle has been in an accident or a collision and you think it looks okay, it's always worth getting it checked out, because it might not be, which was exactly what happened in my case. You know, my truck looked fine, but it turned out there was actually some noticeable damage underneath that nobody had actually pointed out. So I'm very glad that that is getting looked at. And that brings me rather nicely to the topic of today's video. Do tow truck drivers, in your experience, understand how EVs work? So in the last couple of weeks, online, like places like Reddit, Facebook, social media, I've seen multiple different stories from different people talking about how a tow truck driver either screwed up their vehicle or didn't handle their vehicle correctly. Some good examples are tow truck drivers who tried to tow an EV with all-wheel drive and damaged the motor, or tow truck drivers who didn't understand that an EV needed to be lifted off the road, and the owner pointed that out before the vehicle was actually moved, saving them a very expensive repair bill. But one that really kind of hit me hard this week was the tale of someone in a Chevrolet Volt with a V owners group who posted that their Chevrolet Volt had been destroyed. It caught fire at the side of the road. It didn't catch fire at the side of the road because there was something wrong specifically with the vehicle. It caught fire at the side of the road because they broke down. They called up their breakdown service and said, hey, my Volt is broken. I think there's a problem with the 12-volt battery. I know what it is. I want to be taken somewhere to fix it. I know how to fix it. I just need you to get me to a parts place so I can buy the part I need and put it in. The tow truck driver arrived and insisted on, as the poster put it, insisted on fixing it, said they knew what the problem was and knew how to fix it. And for those people who don't know, the original Chevrolet Volt has its traction battery pack in a T-shape down the center of the vehicle, and then it has its 12-volt accessory battery in the rear. So you have to open the rear hatch and kind of remove some of the floor, and then the battery is down there. And the repair guy, or the tow truck driver, was down there faffing around with the 12-volt battery and actually caused the car to catch on fire. Now, I should point out here, this is an unverified report, and I don't know the specifics of what happened, but I am seeing again and 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 again stories of electric vehicle owners who are getting their vehicles towed, either because they've had an accident or because, you know, it was parked wrong, or maybe, you know, a garage came to pick up their car because it stopped working, and the garage or the tow truck driver causing more damage to the vehicle than it originally had when it went in. And that's something actually I've been thinking about this week as my truck's been in for repair. You know, I looked at the quote for repairs and I noticed that they're going to remove the pickup bed at the rear of the truck. And I was like, hey, are you going to do this bit of repair work? Like, are you going to follow this particular practice? And I haven't heard back from them yet, but fingers crossed. Fingers crossed that they respect all of the modifications that I've done and actually put everything back the way it is. I can't be sure for sure, but yeah, here's hoping that they reattach everything the way it's supposed to be. I guess we'll find out next week or the week after next when we get the truck back. So today I want you to tell me if you've had any bad experiences with tow truck drivers and an EV, or maybe good experiences with a tow truck driver and an EV. Because let's be honest, there are good and bad people in every job, right? People who are well trained and conscientious, and there are people who couldn't give a flying you know what. So let's not just make this about people who don't give a you know what. Let's talk about lifting up the people who are really good at their job as well. And if you live in a big metro area and there's a tow or breakdown company that you think is really clued in on EVs, let's share it in the down below. A couple of weeks ago, I think I was on LinkedIn and I saw someone who had a problem with the 12-volt battery on their F-150 Lightning, which is notorious. It's a notorious issue, right? The F-150 Lightning, that little tiny battery in the front of that is notorious for failing. It's one of the things that Trucked Up EV is going to be doing on their F-150 Lightning, going to be modifying that battery. And anyway, I think a local AAA turned up with an F-150 Lightning to put in a new 12-volt battery in an F-150 Lightning, which I think is really cool, right? It demonstrates just how awesome electric vehicles can be as work vehicles, despite what you may have heard or read elsewhere. Anyway, tell me your experiences in the down below. Remember to keep it civil, and remember to listen to other people. I think as the world becomes more nasty, I think sometimes we forget to listen. Anyway, if you want to support the channel, you can do so from $1.50 a month, and then you can join the list of amazing people scrolling by either side of me right now. Those people who do donate are the reason that we are still here, right? We are not earning a huge amount of money from YouTube. We don't earn a huge amount of money from anywhere else. Hey, I am technically a terrorist now, according to the US government. So there's that. So maybe you don't want to give money to a terrorist. I'm saying this tongue-in-cheek. This is satire, by the way. Although it's not actually satire. Don't go watch the news. You'll just depress yourself. No, don't do it. Go watch a video on kittens. Go and watch the best dogs of the week. That's always a good thing to watch. That's great. Go watch that instead. Anyway, thanks for supporting the channel. Thanks for being here week after week after week. Thank you for being the positive change that we need to see in the world. And until next week, make sure that you tell the important people in your life that they're important to you, because as we are learning this week personally, that may not always be possible. And until next time, keep evolving.